Hey guys, Keith Brown, Tech Room Devotional. Welcome from Israel. As I told you yesterday, we flew into Tel Aviv and went to Joppa yesterday. Today I take you to Caesarea, just north of Joppa. This was a Phoenician town until King Herod came along in 37 BC and built a city and called it Caesarea in honor of his patron, Augustus Caesar. The inhabitants of this town, of course, were Romans, Jews, and Samaritans, and they enjoyed all the advantages of the Roman world. There was plenty of water, so there was lots of entertainment. They had bathhouses and so forth here in this area. As a matter of fact, speaking of entertainment, this is a picture of a theater that was here. Now, I'll show you the pictures here of what it looks like today. There's still some bleachers that are up. There's still some, there's a stage. There's a place where the musicians sat. This is probably where they brought Paul to stand before King Agrippa when he said, "King Agrippa, I think myself happy." Well, taking you from there, let's go out and look at Herod's palace. This is the footprint of that palace. And it's pretty spectacular here, overlooking the Mediterranean Sea and the vastness of this whole area. Here you can also see some pools that are out behind the palace, between the palace and, of course, the ocean. I take you from there to the Roman Praetorium. This is where they had chariot races. A lot of entertainment took place here. You can see on the one side there's still a lot of areas for sitting. On the other side, that side fell down. It's in the ocean and so forth. And but you can get a sense of the vastness of this area for the entertainment that took place. One thing that we need to understand is there's in all of this, as we go through this over this week, I want you to know that this is over a period of 2,000 years that we're talking about. In fact, some of it's even more than 2,000 years. So we said this was a Phoenician town, and then here comes King Herod, and of course the influence of the Roman world. But then after that, it was the Byzantine period. After that, we had the Muslims, and then we had the Crusaders, and on and on. So there's a mixture of different things that were constructed on some of these sites. So you'll see several different churches that were built, some by the Crusaders or by the Byzantine, and I'd show you some of those, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to take you to the Mount of Beatitudes, and you can see here as we come into that area. And then this is a statue that's right there as you come through the gates. You can see the spectacular views here, overlooking the Valley of Megiddo, and later on to be called Armageddon. In the distance, by the way. You can see how lush everything is, beautiful area for farming. This is where Jesus gave the Sermon on the Mount and the Beatitudes. This area lends itself to a perfect place so that Jesus could speak to many people and his voice would be amplified just because of the natural terrain. You can see here a church. I think this is a Catholic church that was built later on this site. Moving farther north, we come to Capernaum. Here is where we see Peter a whole bunch. And in fact, I'll show you right here. This is a site where they believe was Peter's mother-in-law's house. Remember when he laid hands on her and healed her. And there's a church, another Catholic church that's been built over top of it to somewhat preserve it. But you can see, and I'm showing you pictures here where you can actually look down inside and see the floor plan of the house that was there prior. And again, they believe that this is where Peter's mother-in-law was. Here is the synagogue of Capernaum. Pretty spectacular to see. Also, as you look around, after you look through these pictures, as you look around, you see the footings of all these different houses in this area. And it's just pretty spectacular to know. that the Apostle Peter walked these streets, and Jesus walked these streets, and now we get the opportunity to look and reflect on all that took place on this site. I hope you enjoyed that. Listen, I'll be back again tomorrow. We're going to continue to move north. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. I pray that God would richly bless you as you diligently seek him.